Yeah, it probably goes without saying this, guys, but obviously when it's wet, we're going to have to really focus on being a lot smoother with our throttle inputs here. So everything we do with the throttle should really be in increments of 10%. So just especially when we're exiting the corners and we have just ever so slightly a little bit of steering in the car, that's where it's really easy to break the rear tires loose. So just want to make sure we're being smooth with those throttle inputs, then we'll be good to go. Alright, let's go ahead and roll out onto the track here, guys. First lap, we'll just take it kind of easy here just to feel out the track for everybody. Also get a little bit of heat and all the drivetrain components of the car. Fortunately, I haven't started puddling up here, so it should be good there. Now with our braking film, the best thing we can do in a wet situation is brake a little bit early, but just brake lightly so that we don't overwork the car's ABS system. And that way it's still going to be easy for us to carry some good momentum into the corner. You can kind of carry that same theme here in turn 2. Everything we do with the steering wheel here needs to be very gradual. Against that, or kind of go back to that wet figure 8 that we were in yesterday. We're gradual with the steering inputs, the front tires can do a better job for us. If the car starts understeering, or if we're just not really getting the traction up front, then we actually want to slow down our steering movements and perhaps even take a little bit of steering out of the car to help the car turn. Now through this section here, it can be a little bit difficult to remember to avoid the red and white curves. If you just touch them, that's okay. You just want to make sure you're not getting your whole tire in the red and white curves. That's when you can feel that sudden loss of traction. And one thing that's optional for turn 5 there, guys, it's not a bad idea to run 4th gear through turn 5. Just because if we downshift to 3rd gear, sometimes it's a little easier to spin the tires. So me personally, I just like to leave it in 4th gear through turn 5 there when it's wet. And then Paul, if I could just get a little bit more space between you and that car in front of you, just another car length or two, that'd be great. Yeah, you don't need to fall way back there, just maintain 6 car lengths or so between you and that 40. Especially in the rain, that space becomes important. Alright, Pat, looking good there through 8. A little bit of brake to help the car turn in for 9. Just try to maintain momentum, then we can start rolling back into the throttle, point it up at the turning cone, and carry the light brakes into the corner. You can just touch that curbing there at the apex, but probably want to avoid getting any tires in because it's going to make the exit really loose. Start going to the brakes a little bit early here, Pat, and just a light brake pressure. That way we can maintain a little momentum into the corner. Steady with our hands, looking for our apex. There we go, good line there. And we can squeeze into the gas as we're coming up into turn 2. Looking for our apex once more. Make sure the car gets there so we can transition back to the throttle. There we go, pointed at the 1 marker, that way we can brake in a relatively straight line. And we'll just maintain the brake balance as we're turning into 3. There we go, good line, Pat. Let the car come out to the left on the exit, then we can start working our way back to the right. The brakes here as we're coming into 4, to the left, and then let's back into the gas right there, Pat. Maintain the momentum. There we go, looking good here, Pat. Good momentum, good car control. Keep accelerating up to about the 3 marker. And we'll just smoothly transition into the brakes. And again, through the S's here, guys, it's not a terrible thing if you just clip the curbs. Again, we just want to make sure we're not using them up like we were in the dry this afternoon. Or sorry, in the morning. Good lines here, Pat. Accelerate up towards our turning cone once more. Maintaining that brake balance here, Pat, into the corner. There we go. Now squeeze back into the throttle. Keep that speed up here as we come into 2. There we go. One of the keys with driving in the wet, now I understand this is way easier said than done, but one of the keys is to not overslow the corner too much, because it's easier in terms of our speed. It's easier to get it going into the corner than it is out of the corner. If we overslow too much and we try to accelerate early, then that's becomes really easy to spin the rear tires. So that's where just being really light with the brake to help keep a little bit of weight on the front tires, but also carry the maximum amount of momentum through the middle of the corner is really advantageous. Like especially right here in 5, since we have some room here, we can really try that speed light with the brake. Again, smooth with the steering. Try to get that car rotated as quick as you can, and that way it's going to make the exit a little straighter, a little bit faster. Pat, really well done here. On the straightaway, we're going to go ahead and make a rotation. Just bring out to the straightaway for me, and then at those cones, I'll have you off to the right side here, Pat. And Mike will be behind me this time. Pat, you're going to get up behind to the gray 05. All right, let's get to it here, Mike. A little bit of brake balance coming into the corner, 4th gear. Again, the gears, to some extent, I'll kind of leave up to you guys based on how comfortable you feel. You don't necessarily need to downshift like you do when it's dry out, because obviously if you downshift, you got to be a little bit more careful with the throttle. But with that said, I think we have just enough traction out here where downshifting to 4th in the autos definitely could be to your advantage. Let's just remember to make the braking zone in the 3 as straight as we can there, Pat. So get a little bit closer to the near, Mike, just get a little bit closer to the near apex there next time. Then that's going to allow us to brake in a straight line for 3. And also make sure we're getting all the way to our apex cone, like we talked about in that second session of the day. Yeah, so you got the idea here, Mike. Just turn the wheel a little bit more initially, not way more, just a little bit more. Because right now we're running pretty wide of all the apexes, and that actually makes it more difficult because even in the wet, still got to keep turning the wheel more on the exit, so it hurts our speed. We still want to try to get close to the apex. It doesn't mean in the red and white curve like it did before, but try to get at least next to the curve. we go, Mike. That looks really good there through that set of S's. Nicely done. Look over here to the right. Try to get right next to our apex. Yeah, kind of like that. Just got to turn the wheel a bit more initially is all. And there we just turned the wheel too late. That's why we were a little wide there. So remember, turning at the turning cone. That was better, Mike. That looked pretty good. Alright, let's keep accelerating down the straightaway here, up to 5th gear. Start going to the brakes, at the 5. Maintaining a little bit of brake balance here as we're turning into 1. There we go, Mike. That was pretty good. Squeeze into the gas now and carry that momentum up into turn 2. Good. Alright, going back to the throttle smoothly. Points it up at the 1 marker here. Just remember, try turning a little bit past that near apex there, Mike. Now, let's get closer to the apex instead, so turn it. Turn it more. There you go. Kind of like that. We still missed it, but we just got to turn the wheel a little bit more initially still, Mike. Like right here, stay with the brake pressure and turn the wheel assertively enough so you can get next to the red and white curve. There you go, that was better. Now do the same thing here in turn 5. Yeah, much better, much better. See, here's the thing, Mike. If we turn in too late into the corner, even when it's wet, since we still have to turn the car more, then we're actually putting ourselves in a more precarious position because the more we turn the car, the more the back end's going to want to come around. So that's why we still want to make sure that we're not turning in too late. That's solid through the S's there, Mike. Very nice. So let's accelerate up to 8, where the pit road or pit entrance begins to go to the brake. Then do what we did last time here to our apex, and then turn a little sooner this time, Mike. A little sooner at that turning cone right there. Yeah, there you go. That's better. So there we just, we didn't turn the wheel quite enough initially there, Mike. That's why we ran up on that exit curve a little bit. So with turn 10, you can get a little piece of the curve. You just don't want to be in it real deep there. But anyway, let me have you off to the right side there, Mike. Still just a matter of turning a little bit more at the turn cone to get to our apex. Now, Mike, you're going to wait on a blue 06 to pass you. So hang out there for a few seconds more. Blue 06 will come by, and then we can get back into line. Here we go. All right, Paul. You can try 3rd gear here if you want, or you can maintain 4th gear through 1. I think either way is going to get you a decent amount of speed through there. Start looking over here to the right for that apex. And just squeezing into the gas here. Right about now, we should be in 4th gear regardless. Let's point it out to 1 marker. That way we can brake in a relatively straight line to our turning cone. We're just going to maintain that brake balance coming into the corner. There we go, that's good there, Paul. Let the car come out wide on the exit. Start working our way back over to the right. Going to the brake with 3 here, shifting our vision to the left. There you go, good momentum. A little bit of throttle in between 4 and 5, so we can keep up the momentum coming into 5. There we go, good momentum, Paul. Again, try to avoid the exit curbing if at all possible, guys. If we get up on the exit curbing, that is so slippery. So when we're trying to get to the gas, that just means we have to be even more cautious with it. So try to avoid the exit curbs especially. So we'll be out by this turning cone and set up for 7 here, Paul. Give us a straight exit out of the corner. Yeah, there you go. Squeezing back into the gas. That was good through 9 there, Paul. Alright guys, looking good. Keep that speed up down the straightaway. All the way up to the 5 marker here, Paul. Smooth braking here. Go to 3rd if you want. Get over here to the right. There we go, really good lines here, Paul. Carry some speed up to the 1 marker. Let's try braking just a tick lighter this time here, Paul. In general, guys, we can try that. I think the track has a little bit of grip in it that we can utilize. That's good there, Paul. Squeezing back into the gas. And then, like I said earlier, guys, if you feel the front end just starting to slip ever so slightly, avoid adding any steering. Just kind of hold the steering there, let the car catch up with the steering, and as long as you stay with the brake pedal, the car will accept it. Little throttle here, Paul, in between the S's. Doing what we did last time. Looking good here, Paul. We're just going to gather up the group here real quickly. We're going to, like I said, gather up that space. Then we're going to get back to it here. We have a little bit of extra time here, so I'm going to run a couple extra laps. Alright, guys. Now that we're gathered everybody up, let's go ahead and get back to it. Alright guys, so let's keep that momentum up through turn 2 here. Keep accelerating. Now just make sure we get close to that near apex cone so we can point it right at the 1 marker. And then let's go to the brakes a little lighter here, carry some speed into 3. We've got enough room here where we carry some speed into 3, and even if it slips a little bit, we can be patient. We'll let the car come to us. Here we go. That way we're maintaining a little more momentum. Now turn 4, it's a little bit riskier to do that because we don't have a lot of room on the exit of the corner, so I'd recommend still just being a little bit on the conservative side through 4, but definitely through turn 5 too, we can try carrying just a little bit more speed through there, again, just by being a little bit lighter with the brake. And there we go, Paul. The only thing is, let's just turn the wheel maybe a bit more initially, and by the way, that goes for Pat and Mike there too. Looks like we're kind of getting close to the exit curving there, so we just want to make sure that we're giving ourselves a little bit of room between us and that exit curving, if at all possible. So let's just turn the wheel a little bit more initially. If you get those inside tires to just touch the curb, that's okay. It's better to happen on the inside of the corner than on the outside of the corner. Good precision here, Paul. Keep accelerating, pointing out our turning cone, gentle brakes here, looking over to the right. Now turn the wheels just a bit more. Yeah, there you go. That way we can straighten the wheels a little bit sooner, so it's well worth it. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have Paul and Pat off to the right side of the track here. So both Paul and Pat, you guys have had 3 laps behind me. Mike, you've had 2. So Mike, I'm going to have you get up behind me since we're in extra laps here. And then this will be our final lap. And yeah, you can just get right back in there, Paul, that's fine. Alright, perfect. So we'll go ahead and run one more lap here, guys. Turn 2 is still going to be a little slippery here, guys, because it keeps raining in that corner. So let's go ahead and carry that speed up the hill into turn 3 once more. Again, point it straight as you can for the braking zone. And maintain the brake balance. Notice how my brake lights are still on here, even as I'm carrying some momentum. Still just wide of the apex there, Mike. Gotta turn that wheel a little bit more. So you turn the wheel enough there, Mike. The reason why the car came around on you a little bit was because you turned too late. Yeah, again, the timing is what is the big part of this here, Mike. We're turning the wheel enough in some cases. We just got to make sure that we're turning it at the turning cone and not after the turning cone. There you go. That was better. All right, guys, we're going to be exiting this time here, so let's gather up the group. And we'll have on our left side indicators here. All right, everybody, so just hit stop recording on the PDRs. Obviously, this time we're not going to be